I suppose I really do need to...
Hey, did you forget your clothes somewhere?
Henry?
Thanks for pointing that out. I was... just changing.
Aye. You're in the right place. Over here.
What do you want from me?
I don't want anything from you. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh. For what?
I've been begging for alms here for days, but I didn't make any real coin till today. And that's thanks to you. The scene you made brought out nearly all of Troskowitz.
You're welcome. At least it was good for something.
Oh well, not many people can make such a strong first impression. But look on the bright side.
Hmm?
Now things can only get better.
Yes, you're probably right. It doesn't get much worse than that. Unless... somebody tries to kill me. Again.
You're still alive in one piece. It's a new day and the sun is shining. Like Tomcat always says, bruises build character.
Do you know anything more about Tomcat?
They say he's a master swordsman, but a real joker too. He loves showing off to girls.
Do you think Tomcat might teach me a few of his tricks?
No offense, but compared to him, you're a bit of a lightweight.
I don't want to pull wagons, but if he can handle a weapon, I'd be happy to train a little with him.
Well, one of the guards tried to take him on and came back whipped like a dog, moaning like he'd been broken in two.
Well, sure. If he's that strong, I'm not surprised.
More like some trick he's got that our watch doesn't know. Or at least that's what the poor man said.
How does he show off for the girls?
With his muscles. He ricks logs with his hands. He even let himself be run over by a loaded hay wagon. Crazy. But to be fair to him, he sometimes helps people. Stanislav's sheep fell into a pit one time.
And Tomcat pulled it out?
And, not just that, he crawled down to get it. And when he found the poor thing had a broken leg, he carried it on his back all the way home.
Where might I run into Tomcat?
In the camp by the tower. That is, by Rock Tower Pond. He watches the camp for the nomads.
Should I watch out for them?
No, I don't think so. They mind their own business, but strangers usually mean trouble for them, so they're careful. Try not to stare too hard and hold your tongue, otherwise Tomcat will show you some of his other skills.
Hey, you. What's your name, anyway? What do you do?
I'm Bara. Just Bara.
Looks like you know your way around here pretty good. You're from here, right?
I ain't. I'm just passing through.
You're something like a wanderer.
Nah, I usually find work with someone, stay for a while, and once I save a bit, I move on.
Then why are you begging here?
Sometimes I collect herbs for the apothecary, or help in the tavern. But I'd like to go somewhere else, so I'm scraping up whatever I can. But on the whole, you could say I'm a traveller, or a nomad. But don't say it too loud, the locals don't take kindly to them.
Why?
Because they're different, and it scares people. They travel from place to place and take their home with them.
I'd like to see what their homes look like.
You can go and see them, just don't stare too long.
Where are you headed, if you're only passing through here?
For work, to the city. I'm tired of serving landholders. They all promise the moon, but then you're eating stale bread, cold porridge, and a nary a groschen in sight. With the city folk, it's bound to be better.
You said you were going to a city. You mean like to Prague? Or somewhere further?
I'd like to go to Prague, but I don't know anybody there. In Kuttenberg, at least I have a cousin.
Aha. So you're going to visit her?
Well, she doesn't know it yet. But I won't be troubling her long, just until I find a way to make a living.
Why exactly are you helping me?
Why? Why? Because you look like you need it. I've been in the ship plenty of times, and I know how appreciated a helping hand is in times like that.
What do you want to do in the city?
I'll find something. I'm not afraid of work. I'm not half-witted. Maybe someone could use a cook or a servant.
Don't get your hopes up. The city can be a pretty dangerous place for a girl on her own.
You mean they don't hand out groschen by the bucketful? And the streets aren't full of roasted stuffed geese? I appreciate your concern, but I have to get to the city first. That's going to take me a long while yet.
It's no wonder nobody wants anything to do with me. I look like a vagrant.
At least you're not walking around bare-assed. Although that might not be a sorry sight.
Ah, very funny. I'd rather you tell me where I might get some clothes.
And what do you have in mind? Brocade and satin? A monk's robe? Or perhaps Sir Brunswick's armour?
What armour are you talking about? Sir Brunswick?
Oh, nothing. It's just a local legend. They say a famous knight lived here who killed a ferocious lion and saved a many-headed dragon. Or the other way round. It doesn't matter. I don't even know.
And is the armour real?
Maybe. Maybe not. Geibel, the scribe, might know something about it. He has a lot of learned books. I don't know my letters.
I'd like to look distinguished. Like the proper right hand of a highborn lord.
After what you did here, I'd say your days as a right hand are over.
Still, I don't want to look like some yokel.
Without money, you can't deck yourself out in much finery. You'd certainly find something fancy in Bartoszek's workshop. And if anybody asks, you didn't hear it from me.
Thanks, but I'd rather get my clothes honestly. I just got out of the pillory. I don't want to end up there again.
Well, I'm not pushing you, just giving you a few useful tips. What you do with them is up to you.
I have no money. I might as well beg on the village green like you.
The hell you will. This is my turf. Here you go. I'll skip supper. It's partly your doing anyway.
Wow. I mean, thank you. Seriously.
Yeah, don't start crying. You'd better find some work quick.
Oh, damn. I could use a horse. It'll take years to get to Semin on foot.
Don't exaggerate. This province is small.
Still, it'll be faster with a horse.
There's a stud farm in Semin, renowned far and wide.
And which way is Semin?
Southwest from here, not too far. There's a road goes right there from the green. Just go down the hill. Once you see the walled farmhouse, you're there. Though, I'll be a queen before you can afford a horse from Semin.
Do you know where I might find accommodation?
Betty in the tavern lets people sleep in the hay. But you have to pay.
I'm not going near that tavern. I'd catch hell again. Got any other ideas?
If you find some work, maybe you'll get a place to sleep too.
I really need some.
I can see that. Save up for something or use those lockpicks. Either way, I can't help you anymore.
My main concern is getting to that wedding in Semin. Do you know anything about that celebration?
Well, yeah. People are talking of nothing else. The Lord's son is getting married to the sister of that lout he was fighting with.
How much time do you think I have? Have the preparations already begun?
From what I hear, the bride's dress still ain't finished and blacksmith Radovan still ain't started smithing the gift for the groom. So, no rush.
Hopefully by then I'll find a way to sneak in. Oh well. It was nice to meet you, but I should probably get going. Get a job, and so on.
Don't worry, you'll manage. Till we meet again.
Keep the peace, and we won't have any problems.
Greetings, Master Guard. I'd like to report an ambush. Some scoundrels attacked my lord's retinue and killed our men.
That's a serious matter. Where is your lord?
Well, he left.
I don't understand why he's not lodging a complaint himself, and why not directly at the castle. He has that right as a lord.
It's a long story. My lord got very angry and then went missing.
Sorry, fella, but I'm not sure whether you're making it up or lying to me. But if you were telling the truth, why don't you bring your lord here and we can talk it all over calmly? I'm sorry, lad, but until then, I've got more important things to do.
Excuse me, I'm looking for the man who was in the pillory with me yesterday. Have you seen him?
I can't help you with that. You'll have to find him yourself.
I'd like to buy something. Where can I find some merchants around here?
If it's a tradesman you're after, most of them live here in the village, of course. Your best bet is to ask our merchant Jörg. He knows everyone. I'm sure he'll help you.
What's new in the county, Master Bailiff?
I heard something's going on in Takov again. Project the Innkeeper is probably coming up with some mischief to pull on the Zhejovites. Will they never cut it out? Their bickering is making work for me. And now I've been visited by one of the local peasants. He said he found more fresh graves behind his field, just below the village, along the road to Nabokov.
What do you mean, more? You sound like this isn't the first time.
That we found someone buried here? Don't even ask. I've been digging up bodies ever since that bandit gang started running rampant. Most of them are von Burgo's men. Also, if it wasn't bad enough that gang of bandits is rampaging through the region, now someone's stealing cabbage from the peasants. What a disaster.
Cabbage?
Aye, and the peasants won't stop bugging me about it. I was just visited by a peasant from Zhejov. He's been talking my ears off for God knows how long. Say, do I really have to do this? Do I have the time to look for some moron stealing cabbages? And that's about it.
That sounds interesting. Thank you. What's new in the...
I was just visited by... He said he found...
What do you mean?
That I've been...
Are you blind?
Hey! You're not allowed... Keep the peace, and we won't have any problems.
Cheers. I hope you have an uneventful shift.
That's it.
Well,
I don't understand.
it's a lot...
Sorry, if you... I'm sorry.
Excuse...
I can't...
I'd like to...
If it's at your best...
What's new?
Project. And now he said he.
What do you...
The week I've been also now.
Cat?
I and say, and that's about.
That sounds interesting. I need to speak with Sir Otto.
With the Royal Chamberlain? Are you yanking my official pizzle?
Why not?
I'd like to talk to him too, boy, but he's still in Prague. He's hardly ever here. Chamberlain Ulrich is in charge of things.
And where do I find him?
Where do you think? Up in the castle.
But they won't let me in there.
What do you want me to do about it? That's your problem. I'm not going to put in a word for you. I hardly know you.
What's new, bailiff?
Nothing special. Fortunately, Troskovitz is a quiet village. It's peaceful here, and the war has avoided us so far, thank God. Just here and there a brawl in the tavern or the neighbor's errant cow. Well, that's how it was until recently, at least.
And what happened?
What do you think? It started with that nomadic riffraff, theft of hens and sheep, then continued with ambushes on the road. And then the wolves started to come in from the forests on account of the poachers killing off their prey. Oh, and then our master Chamberlain Ulrich. Oh my God. But that's no business of yours, understand?
I understand. That's your business, bailiff.
Loitering around here.
What do you need? Hurry up. I don't have all day.
Show me your wares.
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything then, eh?
I met the local beggar. Barrow was her name.
She's here again? Oh, confound it. But we'll get rid of her somehow, you'll see.
What? But I...
You didn't give her any money, I hope? Rabble like that are like stray cats. Feed them once, and you'll never get rid of them.
No, she just told me you might know where I could get some armor.
Armor? Unless you want to join the local watch, I don't think I can help you. Unless maybe Radovan, the blacksmith from Zhejov. We might sell you something.
But Barra told me you might know of something better. The armor of some Brunswick?
Oh, that, lad, 'tis but a legend.
What legend?
It's hard to explain. There are actually 2 legends, or even 3. Well, it doesn't really matter. Why are you so interested anyway? Fine armor like that belongs in the hands of a knight.
Oh, come now. Surely you're not going to keep that legend to yourself. Do a fellow scholar a service.
Youngster, being able to piss your name in the snow doesn't make a scholar out of you.
I beg your pardon?
All right, no need to lose your temper. I'll tell you. In short, they say the armor of ancient Bohemian Prince Brunswick is hidden here, waiting for some valiant knight to find it. I don't believe it, of course. After all, I'm educated. But you'd be surprised how many fools have set off to find it.
Who exactly was this Brunswick?
You don't know, lad? Educate yourself. Brunswick was a famous Czech prince who won the lion for our country's coat of arms.
Really? How is it that I've never heard of him?
Perhaps because he never existed. Prince Vladislav II got the lion for our coat of arms for helping Emperor Frederick I, known as Redbeard.
But you just said that...
Brunswick is just a legend, but a quite lovely one, I'll give you that.
Could you recount for me the legend of Brunswick?
Well, why not? Brunswick was a valiant Bohemian prince. He lived in a time when our country had an eagle on its coat of arms, but that wasn't good enough for him. So he decided to head out into the world and gain the mark of a more powerful animal.
A man after my own heart.
You may think so, but his wife was none too happy. Her name was Ludmilla, and she begged Brunswick 100 times to stay home, but he just couldn't be persuaded. Still, he loved her very much, so he took her ring and told her that unless someone came and showed her that ring during the next 7 years, she should wait for his return. But if he failed to return after 7 years, that would mean he would never return.
Then what happened next?
Brunswick's party set out to sea, but didn't get far. They were drawn in by an island with a mysterious mountain of amber that holds all ships and prevents them from leaving. Over time, the men on the deserted island died of starvation, leaving only Brunswick, who noticed that once a year a great bird called Mutt came to the island to hunt. And so the clever knight hid in his horse's hide at just the right time. And when the bird came, it mistook him for prey and carried him away. So Brunswick wandered on. After some time on the road, the prince came across something unprecedented. A duel between a lion and a 9-headed dragon. So, what do you think Brunswick did at that moment?
Well, the dragon is certainly much stronger than a lion, so I suppose he sided with the dragon, right?
Nonsense! Brunswick rushed to help the lion, and together they killed the dragon. And from that time on, they were stalwart companions. The lion even followed him all the way back to Bohemia. Except, by then, it was already too late. It had already been exactly 7 years to the day since Brunswick set off on his journey. His wife, Ludmilla, who had until that time valiantly resisted all suitors, was about to remarry. But at the wedding feast, Brunswick managed to drop the ring in her cup, so it all turned out well. For Brunswick, that is. Not so for Ludmilla's new groom, but the lion took care of that.
Where did Brunswick's armor come from?
It is said that George the Lion of Württemberg brought it here. He was the nephew of Lord Chenyek of Württemberg, who built Trusky. This George spent a lot of time with King Wenceslas, A suspiciously long amount of time, if you know what I mean.
I think I get the picture.
And it is said that one day a lion escaped from the king's menagerie, and George overpowered it with his bare hands and laid it at the king's feet, still alive. As a reward, Wenceslas gave young Wartenberg the name Lion and the armor of his ancestor, Prince Brunswick. Only Sir George didn't live to enjoy it for long. He caught the plague at a tournament abroad and died on his way back to his king, specifically while visiting his uncle here at Trusky. Of course, the king wanted his armor back, but Lord Chenyek didn't want to give it to him, claiming he had the hereditary right to it. It looked like Wenceslas would lay siege to Trusky, but fortunately Lord Chenyek was completely destitute by then, so he sold all of Trusky and the armor to the king.
Chenyet was broke. How come?
Because of building his castle. Trusky may be impressive, but it's too expensive for a nobleman. Even the king had difficulty paying for such a castle.
Well, if the king was so endeared with Brunswick's armor, why did he leave it here?
Because he didn't have any choice, my friend. He never found the armor. Lord Chenyek was as cunning as a fox. While he did leave the armor here, he never told anyone where. It's said he hid it so it could only be found by a true knight. Each piece in a different place. Or so they say round these parts. Who knows if there's any truth to the tale?
And do you know where I could find Brunswick's armor?
Yes, lad, if it even really exists. But I do have a little bit of advice for you. Sir Chenyek, who they say hid the armor, left behind a riddle. It's a test that must be passed by whoever wants to find it. Do you want to hear it?
And how did that riddle go?
Wait, how was it? I've got it. Take your leave of crone and maiden, standing tall behind the gates. Boldly go towards true midnight. In caverns cold your prize awaits. Pass through the all of forest kings, hidden deep from hunter's gaze. Standing tall, 2 guards of stone, behind whom yearned for treasure lays. Between them stands a mighty rock, a subtle niche, yet deeper still, a place to give one's art to God. Behold, my armor gleaming still.
The crone and the maiden towards midnight. We've got east, west, midday, midnight. Bloody hell! I think I know where it is.
Really? Well, seems you've got something between your ears then, lad. And you know what? I've got something else for you. Sir George, who previously owned the armor, wanted to have a nice poleaxe made in Prague too, but he died of the plague before he could do it. I'm not too certain about Brunswick and his armor, but this is certainly true because I have a copy of George's order here. Here, take it as a keepsake. And now go.
How's it going?
I'm running out of ink.
What? Again?
What do you mean, again? You refused to get me more last time I asked.
So it won't come as a surprise when I refuse again.
And what am I supposed to write with?
You know what? Why don't you write a complaint? Ha ha ha!
God be with you. Halt! Search! Show me what you've got on you.
What do you want?
Go ahead and search me.
You're working.
I've got nothing to hide.
Mm-hmm. Everything in order. Carry on.
I even had to sell the ring from my mother-in-law. But I'm telling you, if he runs up any more debts, I don't know what I'll do. This was the third time.
Go and see the priest and ask him to talk to him.
Oh, please. The priest gambles with them.
Have you come to
What?
break some more
You
stuff?
bet he does. His
or
house
If you
told
want
me he's
something,
got a broken
wait till
home
I've stopped
I lost
being
a
angry.
month ago.
And if you
How did
don't
it
have
end up
anywhere to
there?
sleep, they'll look after you in Zhejov.
Are you being cautious or
Greetings. What brings you here so early in the morning?
They'll surely fall my way now. Would you like to play?
What game would you like to play?
How about farmers?
And do you have the badge for it?
Ah. Let's play beggars.
Let's play.
Oh, Fortuna! May the best player win. These ones here.
A large beer for me.
Good day to you.
What? Oh, come on! Kurva! Bloody dice!
And what can I get for you?
Good game, friend. The money's yours.
Aye, beer's gotta flow.
Look out!
Lord be with you. What do you need?
Show me your way.
Maybe next time.
Welcome. You can buy everything you need from me, but excuse the selection. A few days ago, When I was returning with new goods, the horse got spooked and my wagon tipped into the pond. I salvaged some things, but the rest is now in the pond.
And where did the wagon tip?
On the roads near the Kachak Pond, beyond Zhejov. You can still find it there. I can't tell you how much it still pisses me off. But what can I do?
Were there any valuables in there?
You bet. Lord Simeon ordered all sorts of delicacies and precious spices from me for the wedding feast. And for Taylor Bartushak, I was carrying expensive fabrics to make dresses for the occasion. If you only knew how much coin I spent on this.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Me too, but what can I do? So, what will it be?
I wanted to ask you, what's on the other side of that nearest hill? I'm not from here, and I'd like to get my bearings. You look like a merchant to me, so you probably know best.
Ja, natürlich, you're not from here. Everyone around here knows that, after what happened in Betty's Tavern. Aber das ist deine Sache. That is your business, lad. Also, what do you want to know?
Where can I find a church round here? I'm surprised you don't even have a small chapel in the village.
If you want. Die Rettung deiner Seele, junger Mann. You have to go through the forest to Aujetz and to St. Catherine. Herr von Berger does have a chapel in his castle, but it's not for commoners like you. We do not go there either. Und warum auch? The gravedigger Ignatius takes care of burials outside the village, and weddings usually take place without a local priest. No one wants to pay the church more than they have to. Das ist ja wohl klar.
Can I find other merchants around here?
Zum Glück nicht, junger Mann. I'm the only merchant here around Trusky. Oh, natürlich. There are plenty of tradesmen here who sell their goods. There is Bartosz, the tailor. He lives at the other end of the village. The apothecary, Emmerich, lives across from me. They are hand in glove, or more like hat in hat.
What do you mean by that?
Nichts weiter. Just that they play at being educated men. Along with the scribe Geibel, they are always studying some Latin tracts. But of the three, perhaps only Geibel knows Latin, if he really does at all.
Is there anyone else here?
Oh ja. Beyond the tailor's house on the edge of the village is where Bashka the butcher lives. Opposite the Rathaus is the carpenter. The rest of the villagers are just peasants, and you are already familiar with the tavern.
Where do you go for wares? What's the closest town?
The closest is Sobotka, the biggest Yichin, what you call Yichin. And farther north there is Turnov. Half of that one belongs to Herr von Bergo.
Is it far?
Das kommt darauf an. It takes all day on foot. Wenn du was brauchst, the goods I have here will have to do you. I do not think you will get to the town anytime soon.
Is there anything I should avoid around here?
Certainly. Stirring up trouble and sticking your nose into other people's business. Here in the village, we don't care much for outsiders. If any do come, they better behave.
I understand that, but we were ambushed by bandits. So I wanted to ask if you know anything about that.
Ach so, ich verstehe. The woods have been full of all manner of rebel recently. That is all because of the war. Verdammte Schurken.
So you've already heard about these bandits?
About those ones in particular, or about others. They are all just gleichen Scheißkerle. Every time I go to the town, the bailiff must send an armed escort with me. It makes life difficult.
So the roads aren't safe?
Ja, das kann man wohl sagen. Herr von Bergo should do something about it at last. But Herr Otto spends more time in Prague than here. And Chamberlain Ulrich... Ach, lassen wir das.
Show me your wares.
Wie schade. Auf Wiedersehen.
that door.
Was möchtest du?
Show me
What can you do?
Can I help you?
Good day.
God grant you health.
Greetings to you. What would you like?
what do you have for sale?
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything?
What are you barking like that for?
What would you like?
Was machst? Wie geht's, mein Freund?
Show me your way. Let's talk about the problem.
Gut. Why? You'll con... Thank you, and take care.
What's that? Oh, it's just you.
What happened to you?
I'm in big trouble.
How so?
I lost a letter. A very important letter. I was supposed to deliver it to my master by tonight.
Would you like me to help you look for it?
There's no point now. I've been on the road for 2 days as it is. We'll never make it by tonight.
What was in the letter?
I have no idea what it said. For one thing, it was a secret, and for another, I can't read. But it was my master's beloved who sent it. That's why it was so important.
Oh, so it could just as easily have been a lewd verse.
I don't really care what was in it. The point is, I don't have it.
Do you know where you might have lost it?
I haven't the faintest idea. It must have slipped out somewhere along the way.
You should have been more careful with it. Losing the one thing you're supposed to deliver.
I know. So I forgot to check my bag this morning, all right? But now it's gone, and I'm fucked.
I have to be going. I hope you find the letter.
Me too. Because if I don't, I'm in for a lashing.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Wait! I have an idea. Punch me in the face.
What?
Smack me in the gob. I'll say I was ambushed on the way and they took the letter.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I'd rather take a couple of punches from you than a lashing from my master. I could tell you to stop when I've had enough. But he wouldn't. So you get why it's better for me to be slapped around by you, right?
Very well then. Defend yourself. Or not. It's up to you. You ready?
I am. Ah! Oh! Ah! Ah! This is... Oh! Ah! This is tricky, your jaw. Think about your jaw. This is... Ah! Ah! Fucking hell! Oh!
All right.
Oh, that was rough.
Do you think that's enough?
I definitely. I'm sore all over. Oh, my mouth most of all.
Glad to be of help then. Take care.
What? Hail, good man. Want to warm up a little?
Greetings, sweet maiden. How are you faring, girl?
Well, you know how it is. We minstrels are always on the move. Times are lean and folk need a laugh.
You're not wrong. The poorer people get, the more they drink and sin, and laugh while they're at it.
The poor man sins, the noble sins twice, but the monk and priest are the masters of vice.
What's your name, minstrel girl?
They call me Dancer, but I go by many other names.
And can I hear them?
If you come by after a show, maybe I'll let you give me one yourself, handsome. But now, alas, there's no time to perform. We have to leave here in all haste.
Why the rush?
Our tricks and jests rub some respectable old farts up the wrong way at the town hall. Our tomcat entertained the bailiff's wife, in the hay, and he caught them in the act.
I bet he didn't find it funny, did he? And they say there's no place for sin anymore.
Indeed. The bailiff don't take to his pizzle being yanked.
Should we play dice?
I'm game, if you're not afraid to lose to a girl.
Losing to you would not dismay me in the slightest.
What game would you like to play?
Let's play beggars.
And do you have enough money for it?
I actually... Another of von Bergov's men. Another of von Bergov's men? But this one has a cross.
you heading, laddie?
I'm headed to Truskovitz.
In that case, you'll avoid the bloody barn.
What barn?
There's an old abandoned barn not far from here. Some vagabond has camped there. On the booze from morning till night. Right nuisance he is. I've tried to have a word, but the bastard came at me with an axe. That's why I warn passers-by, so they don't come to no harm. God only knows what that bloke might do.
Thanks. I'll keep it in mind.
I'm sorry. now.
Wait, that's my Pebbles. My girl. I thought they killed you down by that pond.
Good day. Take care then, and thank... What would you like?
That grey horse you have grazing here is mine.
What do you mean, yours? I bought it fair and square. I admit, it was only for a few groschen from some suspicious lad who found it down by the Rock Tower Pond, but that horse is not branded, so it belongs to me now.
Look, you know they attacked an entourage by that pond, right?
I heard about it. That news spread through the land like wildfire.
And the one who sold it to you told you he found it by the pond, right?
Well, he did, aye.
So it's not entirely impossible she belonged to me.
Maybe not impossible, but I paid for her.
Aye, but just a few groschen. You said so yourself. Wouldn't you rather be in the good graces of someone who might have been part of that expedition?
Maybe so. All right, I'll give her to you. But you owe me one. Go and get her then. If she remembers you, she might even come when you whistle for her. May she serve you well.
What is this hooved monster? Yeah.
Slowly. Nice and slow. Ah! Oh, Go! Whoa. Quick! Whoa! What the fuck is this supposed to mean?
Hey, lad. What do you want? Come here.
What do you want?
Just to wish you a good day. Pray for a quick death, you bastard! You fucker!
Dead. And robbed of everything, just like Capon left him. And there's no trace of Mutt. Oh, there's something lying over there. I hope it's not Mutt. Oh, a nice bit of venison. And something took a good bite of it. Could Mutt have been here? Mutt's nowhere around. Someone must have taken him in. It's not far to the herb woman's place. Maybe I should ask her whether she's seen him.
that girl dawdling?
Has something happened?
My daughter Pavlena, remember her? She was here when I was healing you two.
I remember. What's wrong with her?
She's missing. It's not like her to be wandering around like that. She goes to Troskovitz to sell baskets, but she knows I can't manage on my own, so she never stays away for long. These old eyes of mine can't see nothing much. Pavlena has to take care of me. She's a good girl, that lass of mine. I'm very worried about her. You understand? What if something's happened to her? God forbid. I can't look for her myself, but you could. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I've no one else to turn to.
Do you think anyone might want to hurt Pavlena?
These are evil times, Henry. I dread to think what could happen to a young girl alone on the road. And besides, the folk in Troskovitz ain't too fond of us.
What have the Troskovitz people got against you? Did something happen?
I'd rather not talk about it, Henry. I wouldn't want you to get the wrong impression about us.
You live completely alone in the middle of the woods. Don't you think I've already got a bad enough impression of you?
And where else would we live, you genius, when we're not wanted? Don't go digging up old wrongs, Henry. And don't insult us.
Where exactly was Pavlena going?
To Troskovitz. She was taking wicker baskets she'd made. She sells them there and uses the coin to buy what we need. Sometimes it takes her a while, but this time she said she'd be right back. I have a bad feeling about this.
Pavlena is young and, well, no offence, but you seem a little old to be her mother. Is she really your daughter?
She is. Not by birth, but that doesn't change anything. Her mother died in childbirth, and there was no one but me to take care of her.
And who was Pavlena's birth mother?
A girl from the charcoal burners. They left the county, and I think she had no one else. I buried her myself. No one came for her.
And do you know anything about Pavlena's father?
I don't know who he was. Pavlena's mother was very young, and the fella surely abandoned her when her belly grew. She never told me nothing about him.
Well, as a midwife, I'm sure you've seen it often that, well, that the mother doesn't survive childbirth.
All too often, lad. But that's the lot of women. Or is it any different where you're from?
No, it's not. True enough.
See then? Now, can we just keep our minds on Pavlena?
Did it occur to you she might have run off? She's a young girl. And pretty. What kind of life does she have here in the woods? Maybe she wanted to live a little.
You don't know Pavlena. She's not like that. If she wanted to live a little, she'd tell me straight out. She doesn't keep things from me. Don't imagine I keep her here against her will, or that I don't know what it means to be young.
All right, good wife. I'll try to find Pavlena for you.
Thank you, Henry. Like I said, she was heading for Troskovitz. You should start looking there.
All right. I'll ask around there for her.
And maybe you could look in her room in the loft. My old legs ain't up to climbing stairs, but you might find some clues there.
Have you seen a stray dog around? I thought he was dead, but he's likely still alive.
I'm sorry. I haven't seen any dogs around.
Oh, Sakra. Do you have any idea where else he might have gone?
If I were a dog, I'd go to where there's food. There are plenty of fishermen around the pond, and they're always throwing out leftovers at the tavern.
Do you think he'd go and steal leftover food?
I don't know much about dogs. He could have run into the woods and started hunting. He wouldn't be the first or the last. There's a whole pack of wolves near Samin these days. Maybe your dog's gone feral and is running around with them.
Thanks.
Take care.
So, Pavlena, what have you left for me? She's got unfinished work here. Like she got up and went straight out. Shit! Hey, this is a boy's cap. Does Pavlena wear it? Or did someone leave it here? Clothes. If she planned to run away, she'd have taken them with her. Go!
Whoa! That mare if someone gave it to me for free!
Ka!
Whoa!
Go! Go!
It's time you all heard the truth. We've survived drought, we've survived floods,
plague and fires and failed harvests. But now, we face a far greater catastrophe. You all know full well what I'm talking about. Cities! Everyone here knows someone who has moved away. For a better life, they said. But what's the truth? Every city is a hotbed of sin. People live one on top of the other, everyone drinking and stealing and fornicating right on the street. What's more, the proudest cities build walls so nobody can see all that filth. But we know they're detestable to kings and noblemen and even God. And they even have the cheek to demand that common folk like No, I say, enough is enough. If they can't provide for themselves, let them die.
Greetings to you.
How are things going here?
The land is good. Apart from those assholes up in the hill, that is.
What do you mean?
Fucking tackle bastard. They're getting above themselves.
Do you want me to help with them?
Trust me. I'll make it worth your while. What do you say?
I might be able to help. But first, I want to know what this is about.
All right. Listen up. Up on that hill over there, it's tackles. All I want you to do is to go over there and give them a taste of their own medicine. We'll make some mischief and have a few laughs while we're at it. Well then, will you help me?
Why not? I could use a good laugh.
Listen up then. Those naughty Takovite bastards have this nice maypole in their village. They're so proud of it, you'd think it's a gift from the king himself. Especially Project. Nothing would teach them a lesson better than stealing it and putting it up on display here. Just to spite them.
So all I have to do is take their maypole and bring it to you?
Aye, exactly. But be careful no one sees you take it. It'll be even better if they don't even know it's missing. Besides, if they catch you, they'll beat the shit out of you. So be careful.
All right, I'll be careful. Thanks.
Excellent. But even if something goes wrong, don't go clobbering anyone over the head, understand? All I want to do is piss Project off.
You want to do what to him?
Piss him off. You know, mess with him for stealing our maypole and our pasture. But remember, no violence, all right?
Of course. I wouldn't hurt a fly. You can count on me.
But go ahead and talk to Project. At least you'll see what an asshole he is.
Why don't you like the Takovites?
Because they're wankers. Arrogant wankers. Think they're above everyone else? but mainly they stole our pasture, which has belonged to Zhejov since time immemorial.
How does someone steal a pasture, anyway?
Like a prick, that's how. Behind Zhejov, there's this strip of land leading toward the pond. It's supposed to belong to us, for grazing. There's an old tree there, and everything between the tree and the woods is ours. I was there when it was decided. I was about your age then, and I got a good beating under that tree, so I remember. And you can bet your ass I remember.
But how did they steal it from you?
Because they don't believe me. The treacherous bastards. They lie about it wherever they can, saying the deal was different. And it was a different tree near the forest.
Can anything be done about it? Can't you make some kind of agreement?
Well, we meet there every year. I tell them how it is, while they just spew their usual lies. So we kick each other's arses, and everything just stays the way it is. A while back, we fought for a right to use at least half of it. But because I grazed my cattle there, I had to pay those bastards for using their half as well. But that's not fair. All of it is supposed to be ours by law, for fuck's sake.
Oy, that's a tricky situation.
Tricky my ass. They're greedy liars. Simple as that.
They beat you up under the tree? Why would they do that?
You bet they did. That's just how it's done, obviously. When we agree on something like this, we take a young lad and give him a good pummeling, so that he'll remember in case the others forget. And we pick a young boy because he has a good memory and, God willing, still has many years in front of him. It makes sense?
Aye, you're right. I remember we used to do the same back where I'm from. Did you take your pasture dispute to Lord von Bergov?
Of course we did. He asked the Troskovitz bailiff to resolve it, and he said we should sort it out amongst ourselves. And that if he heard about it ever again, he'll have both me and Project flogged. So that's that.
Why do they look down on you?
Commoners here have all sorts of obligations to the nobility, and have to pay a tax.
Of course. That makes sense.
Aye, but Takov has all its obligations in Grossen. They just pay up and that's it. But the nobles won't allow the same for Zhejov. Besides Grossen, the others have to give them pigs, chickens, hay and the like, or go and serve. That's why them Takovites look down on us. They think they're better than us.
Don't you pay as well?
Not me, no. I'm a freeholder. My farm is free from all taxes, forever. I also brought the right to freely bequeath my property. So, when God calls me back, my estate won't go to Lord von Bergov, even though I don't have children anymore. I can leave it to whoever I want in my will.
Right you are. Those Takovites are a bunch of stuck-up idiots.
Exactly. Eh? Even an outsider can tell.
About the Takov maypole.
Ask away.
I reckon they'll be guarding the maypole, eh?
Aye. They're proper careful and keep a good eye on it. You'll have to be subtle and outsmart them somehow. But that shouldn't be too hard. That Takov lot ain't the brightest. Ask around. See what's going on over there. You'll figure something out.
Well, you don't need me for this, do you? Just send one of your farmhands.
It's not that simple. Maypoles are a big deal in these parts. We had one here too, just like in Troskovitz. But those Takovites stole ours. And our fella didn't manage to steal theirs. They got their arses kicked too. That's how it is every year. They're very proud of the maypole, but they won't be expecting a stranger like you to steal it.
Do you have any idea how I'm actually supposed to steal it?
What we need is a wreath. That's the important part. I reckon you'll have to climb up and chop the top off.
All right. Climbing up there should be no problem.
There you go. I like your enthusiasm, but I reckon climbing up there will take a bit of time. So be careful none of those Taka fools spot you.